Hi all, so this is an absolutely spontaneous video, so there's no setup or anything. I just thought let's just get and film it. So what this is about is something I just found really interesting. Um, my hometown is Worcester in the West Midlands, although I live in Gloucester now, a little bit further south, and Worcester has one service casualty, Airman Harry Burridge, who's buried in the cemetery at St John's. And I remember 30 odd years ago, Andy Long and I were doing some research in the cemetery with the war graves, and I saw that grave and I thought, 24th of August 1940, I bet he was an airman killed during the Battle of the Airfields. Now, the Battle of the Airfields during the Battle of Britain was absolutely at its height on that day, 24th of August 1940. And there was a big raid went in on Manston, because Manston was very vulnerable in East Kent, North East Kent being right on the coast there, 10 minutes flying time from the Pas de Calais. And Manston was absolutely flattened, and it was in that raid that Harry Burridge was killed. Now, one of the German aircraft shot down that day was Oberfeldwebel Fritz Beek of 6 Staffel JG-51, and there were lots of photographs of that aircraft taken. His oil system was shot up and he had to force land next to the Dover to Deal main road by the East Langdon turn. I think it's called Soho Meadow, I think it is, something like that. And loads of pictures, and I thought with the connection to Worcester it would be an interesting model to make. Now, these pictures are great. When I wrote volume 4, this is in, of the 8-volume Battle of Britain series, that million word project that I'm doing for the Battle of Britain Memorial Trust. This is volume 3 that's just come out, Attack of the Eagles, which takes us from the 13th of August, Eagle Day, up to and including the 18th of August. So this action's in the next one, but it was impossible to say who shot Beek down. But interestingly, this guy is a pilot, so I don't know whether maybe he did or thought he did, but from the combat reports available, it's just not possible. Such was the scale of combat that day, and of course the confusion, and we can't always be sure about who got who, and if we're not sure, we as historians must say so, not make things up to fit a preconceived thesis or notion. Anyway, that's a hobby horse. But lots of pictures of the aircraft. Afterwards, it was taken to the village of Elam nearby, and it's on the scrap heap there. You can see it here, yellow 10, looking very sorry for itself with the wings off. And then amazingly, there was a Worcester connection, considering the coincidence with Harry Burridge, because this is a very poor picture, admittedly, but it's from the Worcester newspaper, and it shows yellow 10 outside Worcestershire Hall, which is also Crown Court. And during my days as a police detective, of course, we used to spend quite a lot of time around Crown Court, fortunately on the right side of the witness box. But there we are. So that was on display in Worcester, promoting the Spitfire Fund. So just a bit of a local connection for me there. And I do make a few models. I don't get a lot of time. And these days I'm confined to the garage, which is quite cold in the winter. So I only get to really do a couple of models a year when the weather's better. But I thought I'd have a crack at making yellow 10. And my figures are never up to much, but they're not too bad. And we've got completely replicated from that photograph all the oil of the front and over the windscreen of the aircraft, the bent propellers as it's made its forced landing. And I'm quite pleased actually with the way it came out. It's a 1/32 scale Eduard kit, who are a Czech manufacturer. I think it's the best ME109 E3 kit on the market. And a couple of figures from CMK, and this was the policeman was from a sort of garage, resin garage set. So I was quite pleased with that, and somebody said, "Oh, you ought to do a little video about that." So I have. Difficult shot to set up because, of course, when you're sat videoing like this, you've got no means of zooming in and out. And I haven't at the moment because the remote's broken. I'm waiting for a new one to come. Otherwise, we could have perhaps zoomed in. So Shane, who runs my YouTube channel for me, thank you, Shane. Does a great job. I'll send Shane a few close-up stills for the modellers amongst us might be interested. Very interesting diorama and little kit to make. Now, it's actually a nod to Dennis Knight's excellent book, Harvest of Messerschmitt, which was based on the diary of a lady who lived in Elam, in fact, and this features in that book. So I've been familiar with these photographs of this aircraft. So I think I bought that book in 1980. So a long time. So when we get a little nameplate for this, I'm going to call it a Harvested Messerschmitt. So there we are. Yellow 10, a Harvested Messerschmitt with a local connection.